Cheers! Welcome to Movie Bitches, episode 134. Tonight we're reviewing Collateral Beauty. So, Collateral Beauty features Will Smith as a depressed dad of a 6-year-old recently dead child.
That was a really bad sentence.
Yeah.
And it was inaccurate.
Good.
She's been dead for 2 years.
Sure. So anyway.
Collateral Beauty, from the director of Devil Wears Prada.
What?
You've clutched your pearls.
I am shocked.
Yeah.
Shocked.
Yeah.
What?
Whoa.
Wow. Okay, so I'm just gonna level set. I thought this movie was going to be complete, utter garbage, and it was only half bad.
Yeah. I don't know if I'd recommend it, but I wasn't, like, actively angry while watching it.
I mean, there were moments where I was.
Yes.
It really started off horribly.
It's crazy.
I said, fuck you, movie, in the first 3 minutes.
Well, Will Smith is giving it's before his daughter has died in the context of the story, and he's giving this rousing speech about love and death and time and how that's all that matters and that's how you sell stuff.
It's just real, like, millennial startup San Francisco talk.
It's real, shut the fuck up.
What is your why? Love, time, death.
Yeah, oh, you gotta find your why. Love, death, and time. And you're just like, fuck you a lot.
I don't know why Will Smith keeps making these, like, real high concept, oh, that was stupid movies.
Right.
Like that one where he's like, oh, I'm gonna, like, commit suicide via man of war and then give all my body parts away.
What?
That's 7 pounds.
He gets stung by a jellyfish?
Yeah, that's the plan. He plans to commit suicide via man of war, so, like, his body's preserved, but he's dead. It was, oh boy. This movie is that movie, but different.
I honestly was waiting for Will Smith to just kill himself already.
Well, he rides up on his bike on the wrong way in traffic, like, and I was like, you know, this is dangerous for everyone around you.
Right?
If you're gonna kill yourself, just fucking go kill yourself. Just
right?
jump off a bridge.
Don't, like, murder someone else's 6-year-old child so that they go through the same thing.
This movie thought it was, like...
It thought it was so deep.
So deep.
And so that was what was weird. Was
like,
that...
I feel like all the actors read the script, and then they turned the last page and they went, wow. Like, whoa. It
really made me respect Helen Mirren and Kate Winslet a lot less.
Oh my god, Helen Mirren is the shining star of this movie.
She really is.
She was amazing. I think she's the only reason I didn't hate this movie.
Pretty much. I was really disappointed in Kate Winslet.
Well, she didn't have a lot to do.
No.
There were so many characters that everyone was one-dimensional.
Yeah.
You know, and you figured out, well, at least I did, and you did, figured out exactly what was going to happen.
Real quick.
By the way, the whole reason that I forced Andrew to see this movie is because I found out that it's not what it seems to be on the surface.
So we've seen the trailer like a million times.
Yeah.
And it was like, you know, oh, I mean, he talks to love, time, and death. And you're like, oh god, this is like some Touched by an Angel shit. And
where's Roma Downey?
Yeah. And,
she's the redheaded lady on Touched by an Angel. This movie, I mean, just because I didn't hate it doesn't mean it's good. Like, this was a bad movie.
Yeah, I have some questions.
Like, I passively watched it. I was like,
yes.
I'm bored. Helen Mirren is here. Oh, there's speech making again. This whole movie could have just been called Platitudes and Speech Making. It was just like, now I'll tell you about how you should feel about death.
They grieve. Dogs. They grieve and they fully understand death.
I'm time. I'm a gift, and you're wasting it.
I'm love, and I'm the fabric of life.
Yeah. So, okay, right. So, my thing was, it started off and it was like taking itself way too seriously. And I was just fuck you, movie. I can't handle it.
I just remembered when you flicked it off. So his whole thing is that he makes all these domino rooms full of dominoes with all these shapes and everything, right? And then he like flicks the domino and then he walks away from it, not looking at it in slow motion, like how cool guys walk away from explosions and don't look at them. And it was just like, what's this movie?
And then we had to sit there and watch the dominoes go for a cool 3 minutes. And I was like, what is happening? We get it. They're dominoes.
The domino effect. It's an analogy for the title, Collateral Beauty.
Can you explain that to me?
Well, like you said, so like, something terrible happens, but like look out for things that are good or were affected by the horrible thing that happened that like maybe wouldn't have happened if the horrible thing hadn't happened, and maybe that's okay.
But what was?
I mean, the movie kind of failed on that end.
That was what I was like. I kept waiting to be like, I was like, oh, we're gonna see the Collateral Beauty, and then we never did.
Didn't see it.
I was like, oh, we're gonna watch. Was it that him and his wife got back together? Because it seemed like the relationship was okay before their daughter died. So I don't see why that's really necessary.
Well, it wasn't like. Yeah, it wasn't like, oh, they broke up and then she died and it brought them back together.
Right.
So her death really brought them apart and then brought them back together. Kate Winslet is gonna go find a kid. Edward Norton's gonna
get back
like his kid some more. Michael Peña's gonna die.
I mean,
peacefully. It was not great.
There were moments that were really sweet. When it wasn't trying so hard, it was actually really quite nice.
Mainly the scenes with Helen Mirren.
Absolutely.
Who, I found out, was up for the Meryl Streep part in Devil Wears Prada.
Oh.
If it wasn't going to be Meryl, I'm into it being Helen Mirren.
I agree.
Like, if there was
that part for me is just...
I mean...
Meryl Streep is...
That is what it is. But, like, if it had to be someone else...
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
There was a lot of drop the mic, like, moments in this movie that weren't properly executed. Like, when you read the script, you were probably like, what? Because a lot of it's, like, visual things where it's like, and it was Helen Mirren the whole time. She's actually deaf. Oh, my God. You know, like, I'm sure when you read that, you were like, whoa. I mean, I wouldn't have been, but whoa. But in this, you're like, yeah, it's going to be Helen Mirren.
Right.
So basically, Edward Norton, Kate Winslet, and Michael Peña are like, well, he's a zombie because his daughter died, and we need to sell this company and make some money. How did Edward Norton go from, what am I going to do about this company, to, I've got it.
Because he saw them acting, and they were so good.
Oh, I've seen some three so good actors. I'm going to go gaslight my friend because that'll work. Like, it was insane.
But then it was also like, but also they really are love, death, and time.
It's so convoluted. You're time, death, and love. You're going to go in this rigmarole of, we're going to pretend to be actors, and then we're going to convince Edward Norton through musing that he's going to gaslight his friend. He's also going to get Kate Winslet and Michael Peña on board. Now, Will Smith is totally going to, like, react properly to this gaslighting, and we're going to go through all these motions. And it was like, why? Just be love, death, and time. Why do we need all this, like, fancy like,
I guess because they didn't think that
fake out this, that.
I guess they didn't think that, like, Kate Winslet and Edward Norton and Michael Peña would have believed it. You know, they'd be like, oh, that's crazy.
Then, like, have a speech in there where Helen Mirren's like, you know, these modern people just don't believe in us anymore. We have to go through the hoops. Like, I know I'm not usually a proponent of voiceover, but I maybe wouldn't have been mad if Helen Mirren had had some voiceover.
They wanted you to be like, are they or aren't they? They wanted to keep that line.
Who cared?
So, like, of course, each one of them corresponds to one of the three friends who has either not enough love or not enough time or not enough death. Well, too much death.
Too much death.
Yeah. But so then I was waiting for it to be like this whole reveal where, like, they finally have like this moment where they realize that they were real. That it was
they never
love,
find
death,
out.
and time.
That's right. They never find out. Just crazy Will Smith does.
And it's so weird because So, like, but we find out the three of them are on the bridge, but the wife can't see them. But why can't she see them? Because she saw Helen Mirren earlier.
Because they can only be seen when they need to be seen. Because the rules of this movie say so.
Ask her if she can see me.
So then, the movie ends with, like, Kate Winslet being like, oh, here's 20 grand in cash. Time.
Yeah, what were they gonna do with that money?
I don't know!
Each angel got 20 grand from their own personal... It was so weird that it was like, and Michael Pena, you'll be Helen Mirren's handler, and Kate Winslet, you'll be whatever the Time Guy's handler is, and Edward Norton, you'll be Keira Knightley's handler. It was like, why?
Right?
But like, in the world of this movie, why would that happen?
Why would that happen?
So they decide, at a certain point, the three co-owners of the company decide they're gonna film Will Smith talking to the actors that they have hired to be Love, Death, and Time, but are in fact actually Love, Death, and Time, and then they're gonna, I mean, this happened, and then they're going to remove them from the footage that was taken from an iPhone. I mean, that's impossible.
So that he looks like he's talking.
So that he looks like he's insane, so they can claim that he's incompetent, and then they can sell the company. Whoa, that's fucked up.
Yeah, also, it really would have been impossible.
It would have been impossible. The technology of it would be like, what? Like, unless they were all wearing like green suits.
Right? They're gonna fill in his body with...
Yeah, one of them is Helen Mirren, like, from where the angle is, she's filming here, Helen Mirren standing here, and Will Smith is behind her. And you're like, so... Did you just, you know, like, CG his body in?
It didn't make any sense to me.
It didn't make... I think the movie thought people would be like, oh, cool, like, people have technology like that, they could just take them out. There's no way! Their shadows are gone, like, the sound is great, you know, it's like boom mics, and you're like, no, but this just wouldn't happen. He throws a skateboard, and they rotoscope the skateboard out,
and like the sound, everything is like...
This isn't how this works!
I don't know. Keira Knightley's teeth need to get fixed. Sorry.
Rude.
Is it?
Yes.
Is it true?
Rude.
True.
There was a lot of reveals. Like, so he goes, Will Smith is finally, he goes into this grief counseling group. And there's this woman, and they're talking, and she's counseling him, and this, that, and the other, and da-da-da-da. And the whole movie, I'm thinking, what is his wife? What the fuck happened to his wife?
I was like, so was he a single dad?
Yeah.
Or like, what's going on here?
Why does he have a 6-year-old?
Right?
A 6-year-old.
You mean because he's so old?
Because he's so old.
Well, if they really tried to like de-age him in the beginning, and then they're like, oh, the death of his daughter aged him 30 years.
And then at the end, it's revealed that she is his wife, and they've been pretending to be strangers so they could re-meet and re-fall in love. That happened in this movie, too. On top of the angels who were pretending to be actors, who were pretending to be Love, Death, and Time, who are actually Love, Death, and Time. Or are they?
Will Smith, he was doing so much, Avaryl.
He was into it.
Biking, and then he's just like, no, I can't say your name. I was like, are you a 5-year-old? Like, what is happening? It was just like a lot. It was a lot.
Well, I shouldn't be in a position in a movie where I'm like, God, just get over your kid's death already.
Right?
Like,
that should be in a movie where I'm hoping that the protagonist will commit suicide and just solve everything. Your friends can sell the company, and like no one has to worry about you anymore. Yeah. You'll be out of your misery.
Because his grief is the most grief, and it's more grief than everyone else's grief. Okay, so I have like a real-time question for you.
Okay.
Okay. So, Will Smith writes letters to Love, Death, and Time, a la I'm writing a letter to Santa Claus, and like mails it. If he knows that this is just therapy,
why the fuck would he put a stamp?
Why the fuck did he put
in a mailbox?
stamps on the envelopes? Not even the mailbox. Okay, that's a thing. You know, like I've put it out there. Where am I supposed to put it? Put it in the mailbox. Why the fuck did he put stamps on them? I don't know. They didn't have addresses.
Oh, death, care of death? What? Like...
Death care of the river Styx. I don't know if that's enough postage. What did he think was going to happen? So he is insane, and they were correct, and they should have fired him. He should have been committed. What the fuck is a paper tiger?
You called me a paper tiger.
I don't know. What the fuck does collateral beauty mean? That's not a thing.
They made it a thing. I mean, I feel like there was a scheduling issue. Like, when Edward Norton meets up with his daughter at the end, and he's like, I want to be your father. Like, I want to be, which is what Keira Knightley as Love asked him to do. Why wasn't she in the park across the street being like, yeah.
Right?
That was all me. I did it. I'm Love.
But you wouldn't even have to schedule that. You could just have her watching it.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be in the same room. It was so weird.
The thing is, who cared? Why did they care about these people?
Why these people specifically?
That's what I'm saying.
They all seemed like horrible people.
Right? Why are we supposed
because
to want
the
them?
Collateral beauty of it. I don't know.
What?
I don't know.
Like, maybe if they could have gotten Will Smith's dead daughter to be like, hey, angels, go save them.
Oh God, that would have been.
It would have been too
real touched by an angel.
Right? But you know what I mean? Like, why them and why?
Or then at
who
the
cares?
end have them move on to the next person.
Sure.
Like, oh, they do this all the time.
Right.
They're just, it's like, they
well,
keep
because she has that stupid line, oh, I have 3 projects going.
Oh, that's what that meant? This movie was dumb.
Or was it that she was an actual actress? I don't know. It was weird.
Are Love, Death, and Time also trying to make it in Hollywood simultaneously while they
I don't know.
amuse people? So, you don't see it.
No,
It wasn't good. I mean, I can't.
You could rent it.
No. Helen Mirren is fabulous, but just watch the trailer and you'll be like, oh, she's fabulous. Cool.
I mean, you can watch her in anything else.
Yeah, that's true, too.
Did Red 2 come out yet?
Yes.
Oh, I missed it.
Like a while ago.
Oops.
Like, I'm gonna say years.
Okay.
At least a year. At least.
Good.
Probably more.
Good.
It's very sappy.
Yeah,
This
it's
movie
very
is a
sappy.
big sappy ball of tears wrapped in some dominoes with some like very weird lying
Yeah.
and manipulation where you're like,
Yeah.
I'm sorry, what's going on exactly?
Yeah.
Huh? And a convoluted mess of a nightmare. It's not great. I wouldn't watch it.
I can't really recommend it.
It's not good. Don't
No.
just no.
No.
Mm-mm.